No, I send a letter to my friends. A born again hooligan, only to be king again. Ready or not, here I come. You can't.
Brandon Ríos. Okay, put it this way. Kell Brook versus Brandon Ríos was supposed to be finalized now 2 weeks ago, from what we heard from Bob Arum, Robert Garcia. So I asked myself, why is it so difficult to make that fight? Right now, it's July the 2nd, 2015. I am T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live, and I cover every single major fight alive. Floyd Mayweather now has less than 24 hours to decide if he wants to remain the WBO champion. And if he wants to remain the WBO champion, that means he would be the WBC WBO WBA Super World, remember the recognized WBA Champion Ring magazine at 147 pounds. But if he does not, but he would have, in order to keep that WBO title, he would have to vacate his 154-pound titles at, his WBC and WBA 154-pound titles. I know it may sound all confusing, but basically the rule is with the WBO, you cannot be a WBO champion and be a champion in another division. For example, most recently we found out mainstream about the rule because of the Demetrius Andrade wanted to step in to fight for the WBO title against Matvey Korobov after Peter Quillen dropped it. But in order for Demetrius Andrade to step in and fight for that belt, because he wanted to hold 2 titles in 2 different weight divisions, the WBO said you would have to drop your title at 154 pounds. I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live with RealCombatMedia.com, and I cover every single major fight live. Things are changing to the ignorant, and meaning not in the disrespectful way, but to the not knowing. Major things are going on with the channel, and with Mayweather fighting in September, what could be his last fight, I'll say this one and only time that I just may pop up in Vegas. Not for the whole week, not for the fight. We'll be sending someone to the fight, but who knows? I may just pop up in Vegas, maybe at a media workout, maybe at a weigh-in, because at this point in time, all it takes is a flight. So, will it be Kell Brook? Amir Khan, I kind of feel bad for the guy, but at the same time, boxing is a business, and he has to understand that he should have fought Kell Brook. For some reason, I'm feeling that Kell Brook, okay, put it this way, we're starting to feel, fans are starting to get the feel that Kell Brook is the front runner. But I'm starting to get a feeling that maybe Amir Khan may be trying to throw a monkey wrench, into the plans of Kell Brook and Floyd Mayweather. How could he do that? I don't know. Remember, Amir Khan has now been the mandatory for Floyd Mayweather for a year. When did he beat Luis Collazo? Was that on the that was on the undercard of Mayweather versus Maidana 1? He's now been the mandatory for now 14 months. So I'm trying to figure out this. What is the overall benefit of Floyd Mayweather fighting Amir Khan? Yeah, in my opinion, it would be a more competitive fight than Kell Brook. But overall, what does it mean? Floyd Mayweather can accomplish history, even though he would have to drop his 154 WBC and WBA titles. Becoming the undisputed WBC, let me write it down to you, WBA Super World, WBO, and Kell Brook's IBF along with that ring, he can retire, if he stays retired, an undisputed champion, something he's never done. Amir Khan would just be for bragging rights. He'll be like, yeah, I beat him because I said he probably was faster than me. You want to see my hand speed match up against his. I beat him. Another thing, with this whole Top Rank lawsuit going on with Haymon, which in my opinion, I feel it's not going to do anything. what effect does that have on Mayweather versus Pacquiao 2? People say they don't want to see Mayweather versus Pacquiao 2, but please understand. Oh, I just got something. Let me read this real quick. I know this is a Mayweather video, but this is involving the Al Haymon lawsuit. This is actually a statement from Al Haymon's attorneys. The lawsuit filed today by Bob Arum and Top Rank is entirely without merit and is a cynical attempt by boxing's old guard to use the courts to undermine the accessibility, credibility, and exposure of boxing that the sport so desperately needs. The Premier Boxing Champion Series, which makes boxing free again by bringing championship boxing free to TV with a fighter-first promise and a commitment to the fans to restore boxing to the luster of its heyday. The continued success of this effort will far outlast this baseless lawsuit. I believe that's true. But to get back to the point of what I was saying, Mayweather versus Pacquiao did about 4.5 million pay-per-view buys. And in my opinion, a rematch would at least do 2.2 million pay-per-view buys, which would still make it in the top 4 of the biggest pay-per-views of all. I'm talking about if it did at least do that, 2.2. It would make it one of the top 3, 4 highest selling pay-per-views of all time still. So there's still a lot of money involved in the rematch if it's marketed right, but the only way that fight would be able to happen is if guys like, once again, and we know how difficult it was for Al Haymon, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, and of course Bob Arum to all come to an agreement. Too many egos are in the way, and right now I really feel that Mayweather versus Pacquiao 2 is dead unless, there's some, put it this way, there will be still a lot of money involved, but it's too many egos. So what we're going to do is later on today, after we find out what Floyd Mayweather is going to do, later on tomorrow, after we find out what Floyd Mayweather is going to do, whether he's going to keep that WBO. If he keeps that WBO, in my opinion, that's going to show us that, okay, yeah, it's looking more and more likely he's going to fight Kell Brook. And let's just face it, he hasn't fought at 154 since Canelo, even though he did defend his WBC 154-pound title against Marcos Maidana in the second fight. You go look it up for the people who don't know what they're talking about. I'm going to go rest my voice, pop out another couple videos. Of course, I got an update on the Haymon lawsuit coming, and then I'm going to take myself to the gym. My bad, I keep stretching, my arms are killing me. Teach your controversy live.